Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Bio Universe. I am Suyanka. In the previous video, we had started improvement in food resources. Today we will finish this chapter. Have you ever heard about animal husbandry? The branch of agriculture which deals with the feeding, shelter, health, and breeding of domestic animals is called animal husbandry. The various practices necessary for raising animals for food are proper feeding of animals, proper shelter for animals, prevention and cure of animal diseases, proper breeding of animals, and proper economic utilization. Animal husbandry is kind of farming based on animals. It includes cattle farming, poultry farming, fisheries, or beekeeping. Let's start with cattle farming. Cattle farming, also known as cattle husbandry, is raising of cattle for yield of milk by females and drought labor connected with agriculture like tilling, irrigation, and carting by males. In our country, milk producing animals are cows, buffaloes, goats, and camels. Milk producing females are called milch or dairy animals, while males engaged in farm labor are called draught animals. Indian cattle belong to two different species, cows and buffaloes. There are 30 popular breeds of cow in our country. For example, Gir, Sahiwal, Red Sindhi, etc. And there are about 10 breeds of buffaloes in our countries. For example, Mura, Mehsana, and Surti. Breeding of cattle. Breeding of animals means controlled reproduction to obtain animals with desired characteristics like high milk yield as well as long lactation period of foreign breeds and disease resistance as well as acclimatization of local breeds. The prime reason for breeding of cattle is the poor heredity of the majority of the livestock in our country. Our local dairy breeds of cows provide an average 6 to 8 liters of milk per day, whereas foreign breeds provide about 60 liters of milk per day. There are two methods of breeding animals, natural breeding and artificial insemination. The natural method involves the cross-breeding of the local cows with the bulls of high milk-yielding foreign breeds by the mating process. The artificial insemination is the process of storing a desired male animal semen and then introducing it into the genital tract of the selected female animal by the use of suitable instruments to provide a better breed of the offspring animals. Farm management practices are aimed to human farming of animals that look after the health of the animals as well as production of clean milk. It has four components: grooming, shelter, feeding, and health care. Grooming of cattle. Cattle must be regularly groomed. It removes dirt and loose hair. External parasites are removed. There is increased blood circulation which helps in improving health of the animals. Washing of animals is carried out to further clean them. Clean animals provide clean milk. Shelter for cattle. Providing suitable shelter to cattle is an important part of animal husbandry. Characteristics of the good animal shelter is it should be spacious enough to provide a proper space for each animal to stay comfortably and avoid overcrowding. The shelter should be clean, dry, airy, and well ventilated. There should be a proper arrangement for the proper disposal of animal wastes. It should have arrangement for fresh, clean drinking water. It should protect the animals from rain, storm, heat, cold, and predators. Feeding of cattle. The food requirement of milch animals is of two types. Maintenance requirement, the food which helps in maintaining normal metabolic activities of the body, and milk producing requirement, the food which is required during lactation. The cattle feed consists of two components, roughage and concentrates. Roughage is a coarse and fibrous substances which has low nutrient content. Roughage is rich source of carbohydrate. It is of four types: leguminous green fodder, for example cowpea and agathi; non-leguminous green fodder, for example maize, jowar, bajra; Leguminous dry fodder, for example, husk of gram, pea, and other pulses. Non-leguminous dry fodder, for example, pounded straw of wheat, rice, jowar, and other cereals. Concentrates are rich in nutrients with very little fibers and cellulose matter. It is rich in carbohydrates, protein, fats, minerals, and vitamins. Concentrates are provided by grains and seeds, oil cakes, rice bran, gram chaff, wheat bran, and molasses. The daily average feed of a cow is 15 to 20 kg of roughies, 4 to 5 kg of concentrates, and 30 to 35 liters of water. Health care of cattle. The diseases adversely affect milk production and may even cause death. Some common diseases of cattle are foot and mouth diseases, anthrax, rinderpest, cowpox, salmonellosis, etc. Many of the animal diseases can be prevented by using some measures, that is, the animals should be kept in good spacious airy shelter with proper light and ventilation. The animal shelter should be cleaned properly and regularly. The animals should be given regular bath and grooming. The entry of flies, ticks, mice, rats, etc. should be controlled in the animal shelters. The animals should be given good nutritive feed which will help the animal resist infections. Poultry farming. Poultry is the rearing of domesticated chicken, ducks, geese, turkey, and some varieties of pigeon for their meat and eggs. The specialized meat producing poultry birds are called broilers, while the ones specialized for egg laying are known as layers. The tremendous rise in availability of poultry products is called silver revolution. Breeds of hens are Asil, Kadaknath, Chhattisgarh, and Bushra, and some foreign breeds of hens are White Leghorn, Rhode Island Red, Plymouth, and Black Minorca. Variety improvement involves cross-breeding the local varieties with foreign breeds. The improved varieties are developed to improve the quality and quantity of chicks, to develop dwarf broiler parent for commercial chick production, to give a high tolerance of temperature, to develop breeds which have low maintenance requirements, reduction in the size of egg-laying birds without reduction in the size of eggs. Eggs production is the most important economic aspect of poultry. Hens raised for egg production are called layers. Young birds are vaccinated and are debagged twice for reducing the chances of injury when birds fight amongst themselves. They start laying eggs at the age of 20 weeks. The egg production period in commercial layers is 500 days. When egg production becomes uneconomical, the layers are sold for slaughtering. Broilers are quick-growing table birds which are raised for about 7 to 8 weeks of age. When they attain a weight of 700 gram to 1.5 kilogram, they are generally males but can also be females. They are sold in fresh or frozen form after dressing. To produce good quality birds, good management practices are required, which are as follows. The young growing birds before the attainment of sexual maturity are called growers. This is the first phase in the life cycle. During this period, they should be given proper feed and enough space to move about. The period from sexual maturity till the end of the egg laying is known as laying period, and the birds are called layers. They also require enough space and good light. The light intensity and its duration has positive effect on yield. Poultry feed should contain all the essential constituents of food like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and water. Poultry feed consists of mashed cereals like wheat, maize, jowar, bajra, bran of rice, ground oil cakes, fish meal, meat meal, and bone meal. A clean, dry, well-ventilated and well-illuminated house which can provide comfort and protection to the birds is necessary for optimum yield. Birds of different age like growing, egg laying and brooding should be housed separately. Poultry birds are kept in wire cages or permanent brick houses with solid floor. Poultry reared for food not only need protection against weather and predators but also against diseases. Some common diseases of poultry are cholera, diarrhea of chick, tuberculosis, aspergillosis, ranicate, bird flu, etc. Many of the poultry diseases can be prevented by using some measures like the poultry birds should be kept in good spacious, airy and ventilated shelter. The shelter should be cleaned properly and regularly. External parasites should be controlled. Every animal should be vaccinated by at regular interval to immunize it against common infections and diseases. Fisheries are establishments connected with capture, preservation, exploitation and utilization of various types of fishes, prawns, lobsters, oysters, etc. Fish is an important aquatic food which is rich in proteins. Marine fisheries are fish catching areas found in sea. There are different procedures for catching different fishes. Traditional fishermen use catamarans for fishing. Mechanized fishing boats and deep sea trawlers have been introduced for fishing. Some marine edible fishes are pomfrets, mackerels, tuna, sardines, Bombay ducks, etc. Some marine fish of high economic value are also cultured in seawater along with other foods. Cultured fisheries in seawater include fin fisheries like mullets, pearl spots, bhetki, etc. and sea fisheries like mussel, oysters, pearl culture, etc. and seaweeds. Culture of marine fin fishes, shellfishes and seaweeds is called mariculture. Fisheries deal with the fishery aspect of fresh and brackish water. Fresh water occurs in rivers, canals, reservoirs, lakes and ponds. Brackish water is found in estuaries and lagoons. Inland fisheries provide about 50% of total fish production in our country. Yield from an inland capture fishery is not very high. However, culture fishery, pisciculture or aquaculture has a high scope. Culture fishery is a type of fishery practiced in small water bodies where fish is first reared and then harvested. Culture fishery depends upon topography, water resource and quality, particle size and nutrients, and temperature. Some of the freshwater fish cultures are carp culture, sewage-fed fish culture, air-breathing fish culture in cages, etc. Composite fish culture is the type of fish culture in which the combination of 5 to 6 species are used. Out of the 6 species, 3 are local origin and 3 are foreign. The foreign species are silver carp, grass carp and common carp. The local species are katla, rohu and mrigal. The different fish used in composite culture do not breed in pond environment. The carps breed in river during monsoon months, that is July and August. The eggs and seeds collected from riverine water were seldom pure. The problem of quality seed and breeding the carps in ponds was solved by early cooning through the technique of induced breeding by injecting fish pituitary hormones. This technique of induced spawning in fishes led to blue revolution through fish culture. Beekeeping or apiculture is the rearing, care and management of honeybees for obtaining honey, wax and other substances. Honey is a viscous, sweet, aromatic syrup formed from the nectar of flowers collected, modified chemically and concentrated by the worker bees. It contains 20 to 40% sugar, 60 to 80% moisture and 0.22 to 0.3% minerals, 0.2 to 0.5% vitamins, propolis, enzymes and pollen grains. The sugars in honey are glucose, fructose, sucrose, and dextrine. The uses of honey are: it has medicinal value, it helps in growth due to presence of iron and calcium, it is used as sweetener, honey is a tonic and immediate source of energy, it helps in building up hemoglobin. Bee wax is used in cosmetics, creams, and ointments. Bee venom is used in treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. There are three common species of honeybees in our country which are used for commercial production. These are Apis cerana indica, Apis dorsata, Apis flora. Honeybees are social, polymorphic insects which live in colonies in nests or hives. The colony of honeybees has three types of honey. Queen is a mother of the colony. Drones are smaller but stouter than the queen. They are males of the colony. They depend for food on worker bees. Workers are the most active members of the colony. They are female by instinct but cannot reproduce. Use honey at commercial label. The Italian variety of honey bee, that is Apis mellifera, is commonly used. It is preferred because it is gentle in nature, it has good honey collection capacity, it has the ability to protect itself from enemies, good quality and high yield of honey. Some of the points should be considered, which are: a beehive is a box raised over a stain. The box has a wire gauze cover, broad chamber for egg laying, and the multi-frame honey chamber for honey collection as honey reservoir. Each beehive is 46 into 23 cm in size. Quality and quantity of honey depend upon the flora and pasturage available for nectar and pollen culture. The place where honeybees are raised and bred to get honey is called apiary. Apiary has a number of beehives. It should be set at such a place where there is abundance of flora pasturage available within 1 to 2 km radius for honey collection. To obtain large amount of honey, apiaries should be established at a location where there is abundance of flowers for longer duration. The total time period during which honeybees collect nectar and pollen is called honey flow period. Swarming is a part of reproductive cycle in honeybees. As a younger bee is ready to take over the function of queen, the old queen along with a sizable population of workers leaves the hive to build a new colony. This process is called swarming. Honeybees should be protected from some pests like wasps, wax moths, mites, black ants, green bee eater and king crow.